So today we're going to show you how to create a purchase workflow. So basically anytime you're trying to sell anything online inside of GoHighlevel, we're going to show you the actual automation that we built for our clients and that you can build for your own to make purchases incredibly smooth and easy. So stay tuned and build along with us. All right, so let's jump right to it. The first thing that I'm going to do is whenever I'm creating any kind of purchase automation, I need to make sure that I have all the components to make the purchase work. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go to payments. Now, in payments, you're going to notice that you have a bunch of these things up on top. You have invoices, documents and contracts, orders, subscriptions, payment links, transactions, and products. We're going to focus on products, right? Now, when I go on products, there's been a lot of updates that are really revolving around the e-commerce store. And if you guys have any questions about e-commerce, check out our video on the e-commerce store inside of our YouTube channel, and you'll see it, kind of building out and why it's a little bit different. But when you go to create a product, there's two things you can do. If you already have the product in Stripe, you can actually import it from Stripe. If you want to create a product, in this case is what we're going to do. We're going to hit and we're going to create that product. Now, we're going to pretend we're a website design agency for today's example, because I want to make sure that you kind of see the overall thing. The one thing that you got to understand also is when you're starting to create a product, there's a couple of new updates that you got to kind of be aware of. First and foremost is that it has a lot of online store functionality because, as you know, the e-commerce has come along. And because of e-commerce, it's changed a few things here. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you come up here is that you're going to see product information, and then right underneath that is include an online store. Now, if this button is selected and you decide to build an online store, this product would be one of the products that it grabs right automatically into the online store. In this case, I'm not, because I'm going to build a funnel page that's going to go to an order form, and that order form is going to have my website design, whatever it might be. So I'm going to put website design. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through these a little bit. If you are creating an online store and you want to write a description, this is where you're going to write it. Honestly, I leave it blank if I'm going to use an order form or a payment link, but you can come in here and you can go ahead and do it, right? So website design, we're going to say level 1 includes sales page, order form page, OTO page, and thank you. And again, I'm going to keep it super simple. I just want to show you how to kind of go about doing this. If you want to create a little file that could be portrayed, again, this is really useful if you're doing an online store. Honestly, for this one, not necessarily. And if you want to charge a service tax, yes, you could do that now, but you got to make sure you set the service tax, and I'll show you where that is in about a few minutes, right? This is going to be a one-time fee, right? I'm going to charge, let's say $2,500, all right? And I don't have an inventory because I want to take, as many customers as possible. And there's also additional options if you want to write the price description. This is the price description that's going to show up on the credit card statement. So honestly, if you want to just kind of do this and drop it in here, you could do that and then just put, we're just going to do AM because it's automated marketer. And that'll be the credit card statement descriptor if anything needed to be in there. But remember, sometimes those things cut off, so maybe they'll see this. Now, if there's a membership offer included, if you turn this on and there is a membership offer included with this offer, with this purchase, wherever it lays, what will happen is this will trigger the automation to fire the username and password and give them access. So that's if this thing is here. Now, if you wanted to do a payment option where you split the payments in two, you can do that too. So we're going to add another price right here. And on this price, we're going to call it AM design level 1 again, right? But this is going to be to pay, and it's like $12.50 now and $12.50 in 30 days. Oop, something like that, right? And this will be a reoccurring, because people are always asking, well, how do you create like a partial payment or do whatever you need to do as far as like taking a little bit of a payment now, a little bit of a payment later? Well, you set the amount, right? In this case, it's going to be $12.50. It is monthly because we're going to do it where we're going to collect now, and then 30 days from now, we're going to collect the other $12.50, right? And I'm going to do 2 payments, and then there is no setup fee in this case because it's going to be a build out, but I'm going to do 2 payments of $12.50. If I wanted to break it down into 4 payments, I would do 4 payments, and then I would just break down $2,500 divided by 4 and do it that way. If you wanted to set a reoccurring where it's always going to be $12.50 every month, because maybe you're just, being hired as a web designer and that's your hourly charge, that's maybe 4 hours of your time every week, then you would do this instead of monthly, you would do it every week, and you would automatically do reoccurring, and it would be nonstop until you pretty much, don't have that job anymore. But in this case, we're going to make it super simple. We're going to do where it goes monthly, and number of payments is going to be 2 because we're splitting it up in 2, and we are ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save, right? Oh, we actually got to do, this is the one-time payment of $2,500. All right. And if you want to be fancy, put the little dollar signs in there so there's no confusion. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, now that's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, right? Okay, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here, but more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside of High Level. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with a group setting for other people that are also working in High Level. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need, and if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. Now, I want to offer an order bump, meaning a little kind of like boost to my actual sale of the website design level 1. And maybe I want to include 5 email template designs for an additional $97, right? So we're going to include that next thing. And order bumps, just so you know, is the best example is like McDonald's. McDonald's was the first people that originated like the order bump. You pay for the hamburger, but the order bump is the additional purchases that you need that make the actual burger really profitable, which is you get a drink and fries with that, right? So the best way to think about it is what can go with the website design. And for me, well, if I'm designing your website, let me also design your emails, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to go ahead, and it came out. I got my website design for the 2 prices, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a different product called email template design. All right. Again, a little description. Email template design, 5 email templates, something easy. Again, we're not really focusing on core information. We just want to kind of get through it. Charge, again, you can go tax. I'm going to show you how to set that up. This is going to be a one-time charge of $97. All right. And we don't really have payment options or anything else. It's literally an order bump. It's going to make it super easy. And if you wanted to do search engine listings, you can. This is all brand new. But again, this is more for e-commerce related products. You could use it to kind of boost up whatever you got going on inside the actual page. But again, in our case, we're really not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Awesome. And when I do that, I got my next product and I'm going to go ahead and hit save up on top again. And there should be a back button directly in here. Awesome. And we're going to come here. Now we got our order bump, we got the website design, and now usually in a flow is like, if you're doing a true funnel, you want to have like a one-time offer, like an offer that's a little bit bigger that maybe they want to have. So for instance, if we're offering website design and email template design, now the one-time offer is maybe we can offer them automations for their sales product for an additional, let's say $1,500, usually $2,500. But now we're on a sale price because it's a one-time offer during the funnel that they can upgrade this to get the automations for an additional $1,500. So I'm going to go ahead and create that product. And this could be for any service, right? You're a coach, same exact thing. But it's just to kind of understand, like whatever services you're providing, it's nice to have this flow because what you wanted to do is basically increase your average cart value, which means you're boosting the actual value of a person's transaction to make it a little bit more profitable for you and to sell it a little bit more, right? So I'm going to come over here and this is going to be automations level 1. All right. And then includes purchase, abandoned cart, which was all we're going to do today. All right, you guys know I'm a horrible speller, abandoned cart. And we'll say OTO and welcome series. Okay. Very easy. Come over here. One-time offer again. Usually $2,500, $1,500. The compare app price, we can put $2,500 because that's what it would be normally. But today we're only charging $1,500 because they have the opportunity of buying it today, right? This is what we have. And again, I'm not going to really include an online store, but you have it there. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now that we have our actual products, the next stage is we want to create an actual funnel, at least basic enough that captures the order form and the OTOs. Now, remember, we're not going to do massive designs. So I just want to make sure that we're making it really, really easy for it. I actually think Andy has designed this really early on, but what we can do is we're basically going to do the same exact thing to make it super easy. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to create a funnel from scratch. So we're going to create a new folder, right? And this is going to be website design funnel. Okay. And in here, what we're going to do is once this folder is created, I'm big on creating folders. You're going to watch me do it through the entire time because I like to organize things. And now it just makes it super easy, especially as you keep creating these over and over again. It's going to be something really, really important. You got to make sure you organize inside a high level or else it becomes a nightmare to manage. So I'm going to create a new funnel, right? I can use one of the templates, but I want to make it super blank. You guys can start off with the templates, and these are getting massive upgrades. So we're just going to come in here, and this is going to be website design. All right, I'm just going to hit create because I want to spend a lot of time in design because it's really focused around the automations and all the cool things you can do. But I wanted to start with a product so you kind of understand what we're going to do, because we really are building an entire system and not just a funnel, not just a product. So that's what we're trying to do. So I'm going to come over here, and the first page of the product is going to be your sales page. Okay. In sales page, it's really just going to capture the overall kind of like what packages they want to select. After they go in there, they're actually going to go to the secondary page, which we're going to add a new step. This is going to be the order form for the services. You can put the order form on the sales page. We like to break it up. We actually like the order form on the following page. And then we're going to add another step. That's going to be the OTO, one-time offer. Because a lot of people are, what's a one-time offer? It's a one-time really big offer that you're going to create. And then we're going to do a confirmation page. Confirmation page is basically going to have all the details for the actual purchase to make it super easy, right? So again, want to make it super simple. We're not going to do the sales page, but when people go to the order form, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do a very, very easy one. We're going to create from blank, and you would have footer, you would have a header, you would have all those wonderful things. We're going to keep it super simple by just literally moving the parts that are essential to actually complete this, right? So you would basically design, but the one thing your order form needs is an actual order form. So we're going to give it a second, let this thing build. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is drag over a full width. I'm usually going to make it like 2 columns. I'm going to go over here. We're going to put like a little headline describing what they're going to get, and maybe some bullet points just to kind of recap what's included in that website design, right? So for instance, this will be website. I don't need to make it complicated. Website design, and this is going to be all the level 1 included services. And I would just list them, right? The sales page, yada, yada, and all that. Here, it comes a first choice of what we have, right? We have a 2-step order form and we have a 1-step order form. And let me tell you the biggest difference of this. If you want an abandoned cart sequence, meaning somebody starts putting in their information and stops midway, goes out to do something else, or starts having doubts, the abandoned cart, usually the number out there is, it says it recovers up to 30% of your sales. So in this case, we are going to use a 2-step order form because we want to use the basic abandoned cart function. Then if you want to just not have abandoned cart function, you just want a straight up order form, you're doing the 1-step. But again, really easy. We're going to come over here to the 2-step. Again, I'm not really worried about the styling, but what I am worried is there's a couple of new features and customizations you really want to focus on here. All right. First and foremost is that, again, this is a 2-step order form. Just understand that, right? So it's going to have 1 step where they put in their information, they hit submit. If they hit submit and they don't purchase, we can activate our abandoned cart. Then there is the actual purchase area where you're going to put all your billing information. Now, there's a couple things right off the bat that I want to make sure you always focus on. If there is a next page where you're going to have your OTO offer, when you click on the actual form, you should see the name of the actual element on the right-hand side. So here's the form, right? Next, you're going to notice it says that the sales actions all the way at the bottom, right? All the way at the bottom are going to be going to the next steps. That's important when you're building out a funnel because going to the next steps means they're going to go to the OTO or the confirmation page, depending on how you're building this out. Now, if you click on advanced, and this is the most important part, there is a bunch of features in here that you really want to set. First, if you're not going to be shipping, in our case, we're not, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this wording, your personal information, all right? And you see that it has a headline. That's what we just changed up here. Notice it changed up here. Then I'm going to change the subheadline by just removing it. I don't think I need it. And then do I want to show the company name? In this case, if I'm building your website, I do want the company name in there. So I'm going to leave it in there. And full name validation just means that they're not putting any weird steps, like they're not merging their first name and there's actual 2 names in the process. So I'll leave that on. Email address is great. Phone number I want to collect. And if I'm doing international, I want to make sure I put the enable country picker on. Now, the toggle shipping information here, again, I'm not doing shipping, but in your case, if you were selling a physical product and not through the e-commerce store, which by the way, you should, you would want to leave the shipping on. In my case, I don't want shipping, so I'm going to hide shipping. Right? Notice that my form is now decreased in size. Now, there's a couple of other things that are really, really important. First and foremost, some people like to put we respect your privacy information, you agree to our terms of service and privacy policy, but you no longer need to do that. This is just, again, another footer that's in there, but the ones that are really, really important is this part right here. Now, enable cart mode enables you to add more than one of these services to whatever product. Like, so for instance, If I leave enable cart mode on, that means that there's going to be a quantity button and people can order multiple items. Now, in my case, it is not going to be what I want because literally this is just to sell my website design level 1 service. So I don't want it where they can select multiple products. I want one radio button. That means they can only select one product. If let's say you had 7 products and they can order like 3 of each, 2 of each and everything else, you would enable cart mode to be on. In my case, I don't want it. Also, remember those product descriptions that we wrote? If you want those product descriptions to come over, you would put that product description over. And again, same thing with pricing information. If you want the price information for each individual pricing moved over based on what you wrote, you can go ahead and put that in there. For my case, I'm not going to need any of that. I'm just going to leave it off. Now, the secondary thing is enable bump products. Now, we can enable it, but the problem is we don't have an order bump yet. We have to add it to the page, and we're going to do that in a minute. And then enable coupon codes. If you're going to be offering coupon codes, then you would turn that on. You would create a coupon. And then in here, you would enable the coupon codes, right? Now, the next thing that I want to make sure you understand is terms and service. This is a little bit of a catcher here that you got to be careful with. If you enable terms and service, they got to be able to click on this thing and go to your terms and service. Here's the caveat. If that does not get clicked, the sale does not go through or it will get stuck here. And a lot of people sometimes struggle with seeing this and it just becomes a little bit of a pain in the butt. So if you're noticing that a lot of people are not going through your purchases or your sales have decreased, if you enable that, it's going to prevent, people don't check that box, you can't have the sale. So just understand that the second this thing is on, they're enabling. Now, the fact that I'm running a website design business, I definitely want to make sure that they agree to my terms of service and conditions because it is going to be something that I can bring up later on. If I have a very strict policy or they try to steal our work, I mean, there's so many things that can happen, but just understand if I leave that on, I cannot go back and they are not moving through because they're not clicking this checkbox. I might want to remove it later on and just understand that that is a possibility of that happening, right? Now that we kind of like enable the coupon codes, we have the order bump ready to go. We disable the cart mode, the product description, pricing information, because I wrote that all out. The next thing you want to do is notice that we were only on step 1, which is this step. The second I move to step 2, watch what happens. The screen changes, right? Because this is what the customer will see when they purchase the product. Now, the biggest mistake people make, and I'm going to spend some time here, is this dynamic item. They're like, I don't see my products because a dynamic item means it will change based on what you input on the page live. So when we add our products to the page, which we're going to do in about a minute, it will see it only in the live or the preview area versus seeing it in here. This is called a dynamic element. It will only change on the live preview window or on the live form itself. A lot of people make that mistake. So I just want to make sure you get that and you don't make that same mistake. Now, it says right here, your info, upgrade your order and save. Now, upgrade your order and save is usually reflecting to the order bump. I really don't like that the way that sounds. So I'm just going to move it. And then since I put your personal info on one side, I'm going to put your payment information. Okay, you can word it whatever you want and go from there. Remember, we don't have any of the, shipping items and everything else. You have items. This is what it's called. Price is the price that's going to show up here. The item is going to be everything in here in the summary text and everything else. I usually leave that alone. And then the complete order is the wording all the way here. If you want to have a little subtext underneath there, you can add it. And then footer, 100% secure and safe. Enable postal code and country. When you're using NMI unauthorized.net, you're going to want to have those on because they won't accept payments otherwise. And again, it refers back to if you're using Stripe or NMI unauthorized.net. But regardless of which, again, this is mostly focused on automation, but this is a very big part because all this is going to influence your automations later on. All right. So it looks, this is really good. And that says new contacts that every purchase or sticky contacts or validate disposable emails. I don't turn these on because if you're putting in a fake email when you actually give me your credit card information, it won't go through anyway. And if it does go through, it'll be really stupid on your part because you just gave me your credit card information, right? So regardless of which, this is not really necessary at this point in time. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead, save, and then I'm going to tell you the most critical part, right? The next critical part is adding the products to the page. Again, another thing that a lot of people miss. So if I come in here and I go to products, I have to add the products that are going to live on this page. Now, in an order form, if you're going to have an order bump or multiple order bumps, the order bumps need to be on the order form. Your first initial product needs to be on the order form. So what we're going to do is, let me just show you that one a little quick there. My apologies there. I'm on the order form. Let's go back to the funnel. I'm on the order form. In the order form, I go to products. I add my product. I come in here and it's my website design. My price is website design level 1. And remember, I have 2, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And the product name I actually just usually copy the price name, and that's what I drop in here. All right, price override is if you want the price that's listed to be overridden. I have never seen a reason to do that, so I just leave that in there. And we're gonna click on additional options to make sure they apply to me. One is this a main product? Yes, it is. Allow for multiple quantities to be purchased? Absolutely not. They only get to choose one, and I'm gonna have save, but also notice this, is it a bum product? It's not. This is not my bum product, this is my main offering. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. But remember, I created a payment plan, and I wanna make sure I have that too. Notice mine has a question mark because we don't have an active Stripe integration here, which is perfectly okay. Yours would not have that, and it'll be ready to roll. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna add another one, and this is gonna be our website design again, but this time I'm selecting the second price, which is the 30 days, and I'm gonna come over here and change the product name. The product name is what the client sees. So it's very important for me to include the wording that I need the client to see so they fully understand what they're getting, right? I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. Now I got both products. Then I'm gonna add one additional product because remember, if you're doing a small order bump, remember something that goes along with your main order, you're gonna wanna do the order bump here. So what I'm gonna do is the order bumps was the email template design for $97. I'm gonna come over here. Again, I always copy this. I paste it. The only thing I'm gonna add is a little dollar sign. Boom, and I'm gonna hit save. But I made a mistake because if this is my order bump, I have to label it as an order bump. So anytime you make a mistake on any of your products here, go to the right-hand side and hit edit. And then when you hit edit, come in here and fix maybe the wording, maybe the wrong price that you selected, whatever it is. But in my case, I didn't put this as an order bump. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the bump product, then I'm gonna hit save. All right, so now I got all my stuff, and notice my bump product stands out because it says bump. Now I'm gonna go back to my overview because this is another thing that people miss, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit edit. When I hit edit, I'm gonna come over here, and inside of here, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my order form because if you remember, when I click on my order form, right, and I'm hitting my little cogwheel here just to make sure I get this on the right-hand side, if I go to advanced, if you go all the way down, it said enable order bump. Remember, I turned this thing on, but I couldn't add an order bump because it wasn't on the page. But now if I come in here, look, because I made it an order bump in the product area outside the funnel, I now can click on this and now I can put my headline for my order bump. So the headline is 5 email templates designed, only 97 or 5. All right, and then usually this goes for 200, yours today for only 97. And then, you know, you would put like quality design, whatever you need. And maybe I add like a little image. I probably don't have any images, but I'm just gonna come over here. Hopefully I can find one. I don't know. Oh, perfect. We'll just do something like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. All right, and see, whatever you put on here, that's will come out and you're ready to go. And this is what it looks like. But remember, I told you, you can't see the products because this is a dynamic item. I need to make sure you understand that because the second I hit the little preview button, all right, I'm going to put in my, test information out. Nuno's business, Nuno. Oh, got to put my last name or else it won't go. Nuno at test.com. All right, I enabled the country picker. So it's got US and then 525, blah, 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 some random numbers. Awesome. I agree because look, it's grayed out because I didn't hit the I agree. I agree. And notice what's going to happen on the secondary page. It's got the pricing right in here and it's ready to rock and roll. Plus I got the 5 email templates. So super important for you guys to see that, but understand that we have it here. And because I have no other payments available, it will not let me select. But if I add the templates in here, notice that it comes in here. The only thing I don't see is it's not letting me select my subscription. And that's actually because I don't have a payment processor connected. And there are rules to having a subscription product and a regular product with the payment. Stripe allows it, PayPal does not. So because I don't have an actual payment connected, it's like, I don't know if I should allow your subscription. Remember, subscription is a payment plan. That's how Stripe views it. But because I don't have a payment processor connected, it won't let me show the payment plan with an order bump. It's a really weird, crazy thing that they just don't allow. But just understand if this happens to you, connect your payment processor and make sure that if you're using PayPal, it will not have a subscription product and an order bump connected. You just can't do it. But just understand that's like a weird thing that happens. But it's good that it happened here so you guys know about it, right? So this is all said and done. I'm good to go. This is going to go to the next page. And now let me tell you a little bit how the OTO works, a one-time offer. Now remember, this is kind of like a discounted big offer that will, again, increase my cart value. So then I end up making a little bit more money, right? So again, normally I'm just going to create for blank. You would have a full other sales page in here. Some people do short video just for an upgrade, but it's honestly up to the individual. So I would put like a little headline. All right. Just kind of doing this very quickly. I would come in here. I would do like maybe a video or a small description area. We're going to do just a video just to kind of get it going, make it way smaller. So I'm going to do 3 width, half width. And then I'm going to do a little plus sign here. And then I'm going to add the button. Now, the button is usually how you sell the OTO, because you don't have to collect the credit card information because you collected it already in an order form in the previous area, right? In the previous order form area. You cannot have a one-time upsell without an order form existing on the previous page, because it has to collect the order form to allow for a one button sale, because how else is it going to do it, right? So if I click on this right here, I click on the button, right? And I could say, upgrade your order and get the automations package. All right. And then come over here, only $1,500 today, over $1,000 discount, something like that, right? Again, not worried about copy right here, just worried about functionality. Now, here's the important part. On this one right here, we want to select one-click upsell and downsell and select the products. But wait a second, I got no products. So just like the order bump, right? I'm going to go ahead and save this. I have to go back out into my funnel. And then in here, I'm going to have my OTO. I'm going to go to products and I'm going to add a product. In here, I'm going to go ahead and do my automations level 1. My price was $1,500. All right. I'm just going to put 1,500 OTO. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now I'm going to go back into my overview, go and edit my page. And in my button, the most important part about this whole page, other than obviously selling it, is I'm going to come over here. And if you click on the button, now I can select the product. So when they do that, I now have the option of where I want them to go. Now I can select the step and they can go to any part of my funnel, or I can select the next step. I'm going to select the next step and I'm going to go ahead and hit save, right? I would hit publish if it was a live page, but because this page is not live, I'm hitting save. Now that I go to the next step, I go to the final part, which is a confirmation page. But what if I wanted to have, let's say, another OTO or maybe a downsell? All I would do is duplicate this page, create a secondary product, add it on the button again, and literally do the same exact thing and make sure that both of these things, no matter what, end up in the confirmation page at some point, right? So I'm going to create from blank again. And this one's fairly simple, right? This will be like a full width. You would add like your logo, right? A little image with your logo on it, maybe a headline. And then at the end, you would do your order confirmation. All right. And this becomes almost like an online receipt. And I'm going to show you how to build those too. But you're coming over here. Look, it's got this information, but maybe there's no shipping details. So just like everything else, if you want to customize that, click on the little cogwheel here. I got my order confirmation up here. See? And then I can modify anything pretty much in here that I want. Headlines, colors, and everything else. But the most important thing is in the advanced. So we want to show the order title, the confirmation, the product, the price, show total, but hide shipping details because I don't need them. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now my funnel kind of, our basics are done. I can build my automations, right? But before my automations, maybe I want to build like kind of the trajectory of the way it is. So think about what we did. First, we created our products, right? Then we created our funnels. We really should have created opportunities in our pipeline really early on. But what I'm going to do is create it now. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit create pipeline. And this is going to be our product, right? This is going to be website design, okay? And it's going to be abandoned cart first, because if they abandon the cart, these are going to be possible leads that I want to follow up on. Then there is website design level 1. All right, we don't really measure the order bump because it's really hard to do so, because if somebody clicks on the order bump and then they go over to the next phase, which is going to be the OTO, it's going to mess things up. But I'm going to show you how to calculate the value anyway. I'm going to come over here, and from here, I'm going to go to the stage name of whatever the OTO is, which is automations level 1. All right, and I can keep track of whatever's going on here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, what I also want to do is I now have, by the way, and so you see it, I now have the opportunity when I select this now, I could see who's buying, who's not, who's got the automations level 1 and everything else, and I could keep track of my money. And this is why it's going to be important later on. But before I do, I want to possibly collect for every customer. I want to know how much they're spending on average with me. So I'm going to get a little fancy, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go all the way to settings. When I go to settings, I'm going to go to custom fields, and I'm going to create a monetary value. All right. I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to call this total customer purchase. All right, you can name it something else, but I want to see, like, for each of my customers, how much they spent with me so far. And I'm going to put this in additional info. So all I did, and again, my spelling is so horrible. I am so sorry, guys. Customer purchase, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to leave it there. Now I'm going to go back and we're going to show you how we're going to use that custom field in about a minute. Now I'm going to go to my automations. Now, when it comes to purchases, I believe that there's about 3 major automations and possibly an onboarding one for the 4th. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to create a folder and we're going to name it 02 because we already have our leads coming into 1. So 02 is going to be purchase. Well, let's name it for the product, website design purchase. I believe in making it separate just to make it super easy. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come into our folder. Remember, always use the folder, and we're going to create our first workflow. Now, if you remember correctly, we use a 2-step order form so we can create an abandoned cart. Now, one thing that I want you to get in the habit of doing is first see if there's any actual like basic recipes that you can do to make it super easy for yourself so you don't have to constantly, like do something else. So it looks like everything looks good. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue because there's no automations I can use. I'm going to click on that. And when I click on that, the first thing I always do is I always name. So I'm going to go W for website design, WD, right? Make it really easy. And it's going to be my first automation in this series. And I'm going to call it my abandoned cart automations, abandoned cart. We'll just leave it like that. Right? And the way that this one works is it works off of the order form because the order form is what has the information for the abandoned cart. Now, the way to do it is you're going to do abandoned form submission. I'm going to add a filter and I have to go by funnel, product, and submission type. So funnel, let me rephrase that again. Funnel, page, and submission type. So I'm going to go to my website design funnel. Or website, it doesn't matter which one you built it in. I'm going to go over to my order form because that's where my 2-step automation lives, right? My 2-step order form lives. And then the first part of that order form is a submission. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be the opt-in. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit save trigger. And we're going to go back and we're just going to name this opt-in. All right. So Now, the way that opt-ins work, usually you want to wait anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before you send your first message. Standard industry is about 1 hour. So we're going to wait 1 hour and we're going to hit save. And then the first thing, and always label this, guys, get in the habit of like labeling your action names because like that, you know exactly what it's doing. So there's no confusion when you check on it later on. You wait 1 hour. And then the first thing I'm going to do is tag because I want to tag the people that are stuck in my website design. So later on, I can message them all at once if there's a special or something later on that I can re-engage them with. And this goes for any kind of business. So we're going to say website design AC for abandoned cart, and I'm going to hit add tag. Now, if you capitalize this, it really doesn't honestly matter because it becomes all lowercase anyway, as you can see here. And I'm going to hit save. So I added a tag. We're going to click on that action name, and we're just going to put AC, okay? The next thing we're going to do is update that pipeline so we have a visual representation how many people are there. And for that, we're going to use opportunity, OPP, to create an opportunity in here. All right. And then here, you're going to come in here and you're going to go over to website design, select the abandoned cart, opportunity name. Now, this gets really fun. You see how it says opportunity name? I want a name and I want at least a phone number or an email. I prefer phone number. This little tag right here brings in what's called custom values. Custom values are predetermined values that are going to bring in the actual value of whatever the customer supplied for you already. Remember, if they submitted that first part of that form, you have their name, their phone number, and their email. Let's do that again in slow motion. Ready? Click on this little tiny tag. Contact is the person that we're referencing, right? The person that started putting their information in. I'm going to write contact, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do full name. I like to do a little dash, and then I go back to the little tag, hit contact, and then phone number. Because if I wanted to reach out to this person manually, I now can. Opportunity source, you can put whatever you want in here. Website, design, funnel, lead value. I don't believe in lead value. I only believe it when they actually paid me money. I don't use that for that. But basically, if you wanted to check how much potential money you have sitting out there that you want to chase after, some people like to do it. You would put, well, if they buy my design funnel, it's $1,500, so your lead value is $1,500. But again, it has to go through it. And status is open because you haven't closed anything yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit save. Oh, and I didn't name the action again, so I'm going to come over here and we're just going to put AC. All right, now The other thing that I want to do is I want to assign a user because I wanted to assign it to myself. So then I can pull my user's signature and my name and my email. So then I don't have to constantly write it down. Now it will take whatever's set up in your business profile inside of your settings here, but I like to kind of just ensure that it always has the right thing. So I'm going to hit assign to user. I'm going to click on that. And then the user, since there's no user here, I would have to create a user in order to do that. Now, if you want to make it super easy, there's another way to do it is just make sure on your send email, your one, this is going to be AC email number 1. All right. And the from name, your name, the from email, the email that you're going to be sending emails out of. So nuno@nuno.com, right? The subject, you forgot something. All right. Boom, boom. And then the paragraph, you honestly go to ChatGPT, go to one of these things and literally write an abandoned cart sequence for a website design business. So then you guys can see how easy this is nowadays. Because again, you can always make these better. All right, create an abandoned cart series of, we'll say 2 emails. You could do 3, 2 emails for a website design service. All right, and this thing, boom, here we go. Your dream, oh, look, it's even better than I thought. So I come over here. Let me grab the subject line. Boom. Look, awesome. Come back to ChatGPT. Hey, customer name, why choose us? Yeah, all this stuff is pretty good. We're going to come over here, change the things that we don't want, like, hey, customer name. Now, remember that thing that we did with the opportunity? We're going to click on that little tiny tag because we have the customer's first name, and we're going to use their first name. I'm going to come over here and just make this super nice. We're not going to use a coupon code. And then we don't have SEO. All right, just to show you how I can pretty much modify this. And then because I'm not using my user signature, you're going to want to sign this off. Nuno, not a bullet point, Nuno, and then website design or us. All right, and then your PO box address, something like that. All right, whatever. And then an email, obviously Nuno@NunoTest. If you had the user, you can pull in the user signature, but we don't have it. And in the case of just keep moving this forward, you got all set and go. Now I'm going to just Control A. I'm going to change this to Arial Black. Some things are bolded, so I'm going to bold and unbold. And then I'm going to change the font to 17. All right, actually, that looks really bold. Right, is that more bold now? Oh, maybe that's just Arial Black. Unbold that, and let's hold it to Arial. There you go. All right, I'm going to hit Save Action. Awesome. Now, that is happening after an hour, so what we're going to do is wait another 3 hours. All right, again, standard average. And I'm going to do wait 3 hours and I'm going to send my next email, right? So I can do one of 2 things because I already have the general format. I'm going to take this one that I already wrote, click on the 3 little dots, hit copy action, boom, drop it in here, come in here, open it up. This is email number 2, right? It has all the settings. And then I'm going to come over here, email us too, last reminder, beautiful. Come over here, boom. Some wonderful ChatGPT-ness over here. I don't need the hey customer again, but I'm going to come over here. Oh, there's one major thing we didn't do, which we got to do. And I messed up. So I'm just going to put this in here. And then I think there is a little right here. Complete your purchase now. What we didn't do, which is critical when you do an abandoned cart, is actually send the person back to the cart. Oops. But you're like, wait a second, I don't have the link. No problem. Let's go get the link, right? So what do you do now? You need that link, right? And notice that this is already highlighted. What I tend to do is I'm going to come back over here, right? I highlight this. Remember, I have my page kind of open, but let's just say I don't have my page open. Go all the way up to your bottom Chrome tabs here. I'm just going to kind of lower this a little bit. And I'm going to duplicate my tab, all right? And in the duplicated tab, because remember, I have one tab now open with the workflow, and I need another tab so I can go get the address. So I'm going to come back over here, and I hit the back button twice right up here. And then I'm going to go to Sites. I'm going to go over to my website design funnel. I'm going to go to my website design, and I need to send them back to the order form. Now, remember, if this was a live site, you would have a domain here that you could leverage, and you would just copy the domain right here. In this case, I don't have it, so I'll make believe that I'll just put Google right now, google.com. All right, I'm going to copy that. And in here, I'm going to highlight those words, complete your purchase now, click on the little chain link, and then put the URL right here. And now I want it opening up in a new window. I'm set to go, but this is so small. How about I make that super big? Like, let's make it a 20 so it stands out. Perfect. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy this too. I'm going to hit Save Action. I got to put in my first email. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to put it right here at the end of the email. All right, I'm going to highlight it again. I'm going to check this, make sure it kept it. It did. So I just literally copied from one email to the other. Now this is said and done. I'm ready to rock and roll. Settings, you can allow for re-entry. It's automatically on now. That just means that people can go through it again and again. What if they change their mind like 7 times? It happens. So you can have it on. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and now I'm going to save. Cool. Now, next one is going to be the purchase. This is going to be the main one. Now, this is crazy, and I want to make sure you fully understand like some of the really cool things that have happened over the last several months. Because you have so many different ways of receiving a payment for a product, you now have a global universal order submitted that allows somebody to basically pay you, whether it's in an order form, an invoice, or in a payment link that you can then create the automation to just give them access and do whatever it is, right? So from here, what I'm going to do is this is WD, right? Website design 02. And this is going to be website design purchase. All right. And then just make this big old W here and a big old D. All right, cool. And then from here, we're going to come over here. Now for this one, we're going to use the global one. So we're going to do order, and it's going to be order submitted. Now here you can add a filter, and it's going to be global product because we want it globally, right? Because I might just send a link to somebody to payment in a link, and I want to make sure that they get access, they get the welcome, the next steps, the book a call, whatever it needs to do, whatever my personal next steps are. I'm going to say is, and then I'm going to come over here and it's going to be website design because that is the product. Now, if I want it very specific to a page, I go to order source or a certain price, but I don't care if they 2-time pay. I don't care if they do the full pay. I don't care if I send a payment link. I want it to be completely global. I do that. Now, if I want to limit like where it's coming from, what page, if it's coming in a link and a thing, then I can change the order source and the product price. But in this case, I don't because I want the same experience regardless of what they buy. I'm going to do order submitted, global product is, and I'm going to select my product now that it's built. I'm going to hit the little plus sign here. Because I created an abandoned cart, I want to make sure that the first step is I remove them out of that. So then an hour later, it's not reminding them to go buy and let's go back and buy something because they've already bought. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit remove, and I'm going to remove from workflow another workflow, and it's going to be our WD1, which is our abandoned cart. All right, and then remove from workflow. Again, I'm just going to tag it here, AC, so I know it's abandoned cart. Now, just like before, I can continue on with everything else. I'm going to tag, add a contact tag, right? It's going to be website design. I like to do level 1. Okay, add a new tag, hit save, and then I'm just going to go back. And again, I'm going to always do the action name purchase. It's the purchase tag that I just added. All right, I'm going to go ahead and update my opportunity. My opportunity is website design. All right. And it's got website design level 1. Remember, come over here. We're going to grab the contact full name, a little dash, grab the contact phone number. Boom. And then the opportunity source, we can always put website design. Some people put the ads that maybe they're running specific ads to this page, whatever it is. And then the lead value we know is 2,500. So we can put 2,500 and the status now is going to be 1, right? We don't allow for duplicate opportunities or moving to any stage of the pipeline. Everything else is good to go. And we can just say, again, click on action name, purchase. All right. And then come over here, hit the little button again. And now remember that thing I wanted to like kind of like track when somebody's buying something and I wanted to keep moving up the monetary value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm actually going to do math operation. Select the field. This is going to be total customer purchase. We're adding the value of $2,500. Okay. And it's saying, okay, on the total customer purchase, add this and then update the field, right? So that's what we're going to do. So it's total customer purchase. So now it's going to add $2,500 to the total customer purchase. And I'm going to hit save. Now I come in here and I can just say, math operation, add value to purchase. So then I can keep track of how much money this person's spent on me, right? Now, the next thing I do, let's see, I have a tag. I created the opportunity. I have all that. Now I got to send them like a welcome email. Hey, great job and congratulations. Welcome to, the whatever. And I can go back to my ChatGPT. Okay, now write an email welcoming them after they purchase with the next steps. Now it's going to make up its own steps. You would have different steps, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Pretty cool. Actually, this is exactly what you should be doing. There you go. Sweet. So we're going to take this right here, Control C, Go back to our first email. It says company name right here in a box. Welcome to Websites Are Us or something. What did I call it? Websites Are Us or Funnels Are Us, whatever you want to call it. Funnels Are Us. Okay. Come over here, go over here really quickly. Okay, customer name, blah, blah, blah. They're really, honestly, there's no reason anymore, guys, to like not write good emails. Come over here, anything that has a bracket, you're just going to come back in here and change and try to use your custom values. Contact first name. All right, I'm going to put a little space. Welcome to your company name. Welcome to Funnels Are Us. All right, come over here. And then initial consultation. Oh, this is also great. Time frame, then, I don't know, 14 days. Cool. Need help. Phone number and all that. So, I mean, honestly, guys, I'm not going to fill all this out, but you get it, right? You would just make this super pretty, change anything that's in the brackets to make it super easy for you. Make sure, you know, you got your name, Nuno, email, Nuno and Nuno test. Okay. And then don't forget email, welcome email, always label everything, welcome email. And then the from name, Nuno, right? And then from email, Nuno at test. Remember, if you have user, you can select the user, but just make it super easy for yourself. Boom. Now we got the welcome email. Now look at all the cool things you have. Right now you can send an internal notification to yourself, letting you know somebody's ready to go. Internal notification. And this internal notification can be an SMS. And if I wanted to send it to multiple people, right, I could select different users or custom emails. Make believe I wanted to send it to my VA or whatever else. I could just say Nuno at test.com, new customer. All the details, boom. And then I could put a little dash. And remember the like cool little trick with the tags? I can put the full name so then they can follow up. So I can then do this and just say, hey, we have a new customer. All right. I put a little colon and then I put name, colon, pull in the customer name. Then it'll be phone, colon, pull in the customer phone. And then email, colon, pull in the customer's email. Boom. And then I hit save. Now I got an internal notification going to whoever it might be. And then internal notification, I can label VA. All right. Again, from name and email, this you don't have to because it's going to come out of the actual local email that you have set up. So a local email meaning whatever you have in your business profile. So you're okay there. And then you're ready to rock and roll, right? So now I could save this. I can publish it and this is ready to go. But remember, I have my order bump and my OTO because I want to make sure that they have that. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to create another workflow. Or if I want to be smart and copy a lot of the things that I already did, I can just hit duplicate workflow. Instead of W3, I can have, this is going to be W3 here instead of W2 I meant. And then this is going to be the email templates, email template designs. Boom, hit create, come in here. And now I just got to modify this, right? Because I have everything already. The order submitted is not going to be website design. It's a global product because I might want to include this order bump in other things that I sell. Email template design, hit save, add the purchase, get rid of this tag. And now it's going to be email template purchase. Okay. Then I can update this. I want to leave it here, but I know that now I'm adding $97. So I'm updating the value here. My math operation, I know I'm adding $97. I update it here. My welcome email is congratulations on the templates. And I would just change this to the template email. Again, go back to ChatGPT, write me an email on somebody purchasing my 5, blah, 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 whatever. And then I would write this out, right? And then the internal VA, somebody bought the new customer, bought 5 email templates. Boom. All right. And then there's the name. And then I would send that out to whatever. Guess what? This one's done. How cool is that, right? And now you want to do the last one, right? So I'm going to take the same thing. I'm going to duplicate the workflow. This is going to be the automations. And I'm going to get rid of the copy. And it's number 4. All right. I'm going to hit create. Come in here. And again, same thing because I have a global product. I'm switching to global product. Automations level 1. We can delete the abandoned cart. I should have done that on the other one too. The tag is going to be automation. Notice how I'm writing it over here. Automations level 1, purchase. And I add a new tag. Hit save action. Go to the opportunities tab. This now I switch to automations level 1 and website design is fine, contact, but now I got to add the $1,500, 2,500. So that's going to be about what, 4,000? All right, right? I think, yeah, that should be good. And I'm going to hit 4,000. The math, I'm adding $1,500 here. And then if I want to be really sly so I get the math exactly right, You see this lead value? Delete that, come over here, go to contact, go to custom fields and total customer purchase. Because I'm adding the math, this will always be super accurate now because it'll be in there. Isn't that cool? Didn't even think of doing that until now. Welcome email, it'll be the same exact thing. Congratulations on your automations level 1 purchase. You go to ChatGPT, it would write you some next steps or whatever else. You hit save action. Then this thing will get changed for your internal VA notification, bought automations. And boom, there you are again, who the customer is and everything else, publish. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. You have a full-fledged, complete ecosystem, an opportunity to keep track of it. You have the funnel, you have the automations to go in there, and you have completely set up products in order to do so. Now, a couple little things that you can do back end is one, if you want to enable your receipts inside of here, make sure you do that. So if you go to payments and you go to settings, you can do settings in here and you can enable receipts automatically. You can change the title, you can change the receipt start number, the from name, the from email, what it actually says, any kind of notes. You want to add specific taxes to your state, then you can create a tax and you can show on there notifications of who gets what, and you can control the template you get, and you can send it if somebody leaves in checkout and they're buying your carts. And then, to again, integrate your payment, your Stripe or your NMI, it's all in here. And if you want to add coupons, you basically create a coupon in here. Very simple to do. You enter the coupon name, website design, generate a coupon code. It's going to be a percentage off. Like we're going to offer 10% off. Start date is like today, no end date. And then I can limit the total number of the coupons can be redeemed. It's going to be like 2 and limit the coupon special products and over, only the website design part. All right. And then I can limit it to 1 customer and take this thing out and then apply to future recurring payments if applicable. Yeah, because if they're doing that makes sense. And then I'm going to hit create. Now you have a coupon that you can leverage that they can put in that little coupon area. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.